Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for being a part of this video. My name is Bright. Today, we're going to be checking out 7 things you didn't know about Germany. Over the days, I've been discovering a lot about Germany, and I still can't believe there's a whole lot to be discovered about Germany. So, today, we're going to be checking out this video. So, before then, if you're new to the channel, please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. This would actually help the channel a lot to grow. So, with this said and done, let's head on right into the video. Let's check this out.
German prisons, Oktoberfest, and the infamous Autobahn. This list has it all. Let's talk about 7 things you didn't know about Germany.
Let's go. Let's go. I'm so excited for this one.
Hello, servus, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Feli. I'm originally from Munich, Germany, but I've been living here in Cincinnati, Ohio, on and off since 2016. And while most Americans I meet here know a lot about German cars and engineering, about German history, and often even about soccer, I found that there are a few things that totally surprise them whenever I mention them. So I put together a list of 7 of those things, and I bet most of you didn't know these either. Number 1,
let's find out.
It's not illegal to break out of prison. Yes, you heard correctly. In the US and in Canada, breaking out of prison is considered a criminal offense, and if you get caught, it'll most likely lead to your prison sentence being extended. But in Germany...
Hold on a minute. Did someone just listen to what she just said now, that breaking out of prison is not illegal in Germany? Oh my goodness, this is surprising, because I do not think before now, I do not think there's actually a country or a continent that you would actually break out of prison and without being condemned or nothing. This is unbelievable. Wow, this is unbelievable.
If you're incarcerated and manage to escape, that's actually considered part of a human's natural desire for freedom and ties back to the very first paragraph of our constitution, the Grundgesetz, that says, human dignity shall be inviolable. To respect and protect it shall be the duty of all state authority. The German people therefore acknowledge inviolable and inalienable human rights as the basis of every community of peace and of justice in the world. So since the desire to be free is considered part of human nature, breaking out of prison is not counted as an additional charge in Germany and won't extend your sentence. What is illegal, however, is helping a prisoner to break out, and if the prisoner commits other criminal offenses in order to escape, such as damage of property or assault, they can be charged for those. And if they do get caught, they might also get disciplined by the prison for violating the prison rules, and it might hurt their chances for an early release. Germany isn't the only country where escaping from prison isn't illegal, by the way. It's the same in Austria, Switzerland, the Netherlands, Sweden, and even Mexico, just to name a few. By the way, just a little bonus fact, German prisons are actually considered some of the nicest and humane prisons in the world, and they have a very different philosophy compared to American prisons.
Hold on a minute. Would you ever believe that that actual picture right there was actually a picture of a prison? Wow, this is crazy. If a prison is looking that good, then trust me, this is this is unbelievable. Trust me, guys, because from this part of the world where I'm from, actually, prisons do not look that good. Wow, that is actually looking like an actual room or a house, well furnished. Doesn't look like a prison. I don't know how a prison is supposed to look like. Maybe a prison is supposed to look more, not to look more comfortable than what we're just seeing now. This is this is a bit surprising.
But that might be a topic for another video. Now, staying on the topic of security, one thing that you probably didn't know about Germany is that it's not very common to have security cameras at home. Well, here in the US, that's pretty standard. But I also never knew how easy it was to install security cameras before I came here. Ben and I are using the indoor security cameras by LitoCam, and they give us so much peace of mind when we're not home. Not just in terms of security, but also to check in on our cats, Izzy and Ern. A couple months ago, I showed you guys the LitoCam C1 cameras, but since then we've actually added 2 of their P1 360 pan cameras, because when we were on vacation in July, there were a few instances where the cats were out of frame and we couldn't quite see if they were getting into something that they weren't supposed to. You know, when your pet walks by carrying something in their mouth and you're not quite sure what it is, you want to take a second look. But these new cameras are actually motorized and they can pan all the way around 360 degrees. And the best thing is that you can control it all on your phone, even when you're thousands of miles away. So now, even when we're going to be in Germany in October, we'll be able to just open up the app and move the camera to whatever part of the room we want to see. You can also activate the automatic motion
that is
tracking,
amazing.
and with the two-way
Amazing.
audio system, we can not only hear what's going on in our house, but we can even talk through the camera, which is great for pets.
What's that sound?
But also a great function if you're using these to watch your kids in the other room. The camera has a super clear picture with a full HD 1080p resolution, and it even has night vision that allows you to see up to 33 feet in complete darkness. And for whenever you're not watching live, you can
Wow,
just activate
this is
motion detection
incredible.
and have the app send you notifications whenever something is happening and automatically record the footage. Video can be recorded 24/7 to local storage or to a cloud, and you can access the cameras on unlimited devices. So Ben and I are both connected on our phones at the same time. So if you've been looking for some indoor cameras to upgrade your home security, watch your dog or cat when you're not home, or keep an eye on your kids or elderly, I can only recommend these, and they're super affordable for great quality. Just click on the link in the info box below and check out the LitoCam P1 cameras yourself. Number 2 of the things you didn't know about Germany is Germans get 4 to 6 weeks of vacation. Now, why would this even be surprising? Well, in the US, there's actually no legal requirement for how many vacation days or how much paid time off employers have to give their employees. According to Forbes magazine, the average American worker only gets 11 days of paid vacation per year. After 5 years of service, this increases to 15 days average, and after 10 years, it's 17 days. Which means that on average, even after 10 years of working at the same company, an American employee still gets fewer vacation days than the legal minimum in Germany, which is 20 days per year for a 5-day work week. That's just the legal minimum though.
Wow,
Most
this
employers
is
offer
incredible.
more
This
vacation
is
days than
so
that. On average, it's around 28
different.
vacation days per year, and you are usually also encouraged to take all of those vacation days. That's probably one of the reasons why Germans tend to travel so much. And nope, that does not include sick days. Those aren't limited at all. In the US, it's common to have a certain amount of paid sick days per year that are defined in your work contract. According to Forbes, Americans get 8 of those on average, meaning that if they have to call in sick on more than 8 days, they don't get paid for those days anymore. In Germany, you usually just call in sick and that's it. If you're sick for longer than 3 days in a row, you usually have to submit a doctor's notice, but you'll still get paid. Before I moved to the US, I never even thought about this one being unusual in any way, but growing up, there was a brothel right by the mall I would always go to and close to the subway station. So every time I took my bike there, I literally went right by the brothel. Because yes, prostitution is legal in Germany. So don't be surprised if you see streets like these in Germany. This is the Reeperbahn, which is an infamous party area in the city of Hamburg, full of bars and nightclubs, but also full of adult shops, strip clubs, and when you enter the side streets and alleys, full of prostitution. But on the main street, you'll literally see people of all ages, tourists, even kids sometimes, stroll down the street and check out the adult shops because they usually have brightly lit windows and open doors, kind of as if they were like tourist gift shops or something. And some of them even have a doner kebab window built in. This is Germany in a nutshell right there. Germany is one of 9 European countries where prostitution is legal and regulated, but I would say Germany and the Netherlands are probably the 2 countries that are best known for it. Number 4, the
All right, guys. All right, guys. At this point, I need your opinion right here now. I need your opinion about this. Should prostitution be legalized at all? That is my question for you guys watching this video right now. Should prostitution be legalized at all? I feel like it shouldn't. Okay, I feel like it shouldn't be legalized because it has side effects. Like she was actually saying in the video that in Germany you could actually see kids, walking to shops, adult shops, which doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So I think it should be legalized. Okay, it should be legalized. This is totally different from what I used to know. I know in some part of the world it is not actually accepted, uh, but to hear that there's actually a country that actually accepts prostitution, prostitution itself, I think is not a good thing, and to have it legalized sounds crazy to me. Seriously, it sounds crazy. Let me know what you think in the comment section, anyways.
Autobahn does have speed limits. Yes, you heard right, but let's back up a little bit. The German Autobahn, or Autobahn in English, is known for being one of the only places in the world where you can drive without any speed limit, and it's actually become a popular tourist destination for car enthusiasts. Now, first of all, many people seem to believe that the Autobahn is some type of racetrack or one single street in Germany, when in reality, Autobahn is simply the German word for freeway or interstate. So the Autobahn really is all over the country, but don't be surprised if you get on it and see a speed limit sign right away. Because while there isn't a general speed limit for the entire Autobahn in Germany, about 30% of the Autobahn do actually have permanent speed limits posted, and on about 10% of it, you'll find temporary speed limits due to construction zones. Now that does still leave us with about 60% of the Autobahn that has absolutely no speed limit. So yes, you will see cars going 200, 250 kilometers per hour or faster passing by in a flash, so make sure to stay out of that left lane unless you're the fast one or for when you're passing someone else, but then always make sure to get back into the right lane as soon as possible and never ever pass someone on the right side. In the US, people pass on the right all the time on interstates, and I think as long as there are more than 2 lanes, that's actually legal too, but on the German Autobahn, you're always supposed to stay as far right as possible. We call it the Rechtsfahrgebot, and only use the lane on your left for passing. Now that being said, while we don't have a regulated speed limit for the entire Autobahn, there is something called Richtgeschwindigkeit, advisory speed limit, and that is at 130 kilometers per hour. Now you're still allowed to go faster than that when there's no posted speed limit, but in the case of an accident, you might be considered partially at fault, even if you didn't cause the accident, which means that you or your insurance might have to pay for some of the damage. So that's something to keep in mind. By the way, if you want to find out more about all things driving in Germany, make sure to check out this video. Okay, so for this next one, I never even realized that this misconception existed until I came to the US and got asked about how I celebrate Oktoberfest when I'm away from home. And I've definitely mentioned this one on my channel before, but since Oktoberfest is starting in just a couple weeks, I felt like it might be worth mentioning again. Oktoberfest is not a cultural holiday like Thanksgiving or Carnival that people celebrate all over Germany. Oktoberfest is simply the name of one specific Volksfest, folk festival, or beer festival. I mean, yes, it's the biggest one in Germany and even the biggest one in the entire world, and there are events in other parts of Germany and all over the world that use the Oktoberfest theme and that are even called Oktoberfest, but that doesn't make it some kind of franchise. At least not in the eyes of someone from Munich, which is where Oktoberfest, or Wiesn as we call it, takes place. Most Germans from outside of Munich have never even been to Oktoberfest, and the vast majority of them don't plan on ever going either. At the end of the day, Oktoberfest is just one of over 9,000 Volksfeste that take place in Germany every year. After Oktoberfest,
9,000?
the Krangerkirmes
Wow,
in North
that's
Rhine-Westphalia,
massive.
the Rheinkirmes in Düsseldorf, the Kieler Woche, which is an annual sailing event in Kiel up by the Baltic Sea, the Cannstatter Vasen in Stuttgart, the Nürnberger Volksfest, and many, many more. So no, I don't celebrate Oktoberfest when I'm not in Munich. It's not something you celebrate. You either attend it or you don't, and we don't say things like Happy Oktoberfest to each other either. If you're going to Germany for the first time and you expect to be running into Hitler statues all the time and swastikas on old buildings, you actually couldn't be more wrong. Because Hitler statues never really existed to begin with, and signs and symbols from the Nazi era are illegal in public spaces in Germany, unless it's in a historical context or a part of education, arts, science, or research. When the Federal Republic of Germany was founded in 1949, the idea behind this was to prevent victims and survivors of the Nazi regime from being confronted with these symbols unexpectedly in their everyday life. The ban includes flags, badges, uniforms, slogans, as well as forms of greetings, such as the Hitler salute. So nope, Germans won't find it funny if you do the Hitler salute, and you might actually get in trouble for it. Now, for symbols that were used way before the Nazis used them for their purposes, such as the swastika that originated in Asia as a symbol for fertility, or other Nordic and Germanic runes, those are only banned when they're specifically used in a political context with the Nazis or modern right-wing extremism. But if you're traveling to India or Scandinavia Scandinavia and you're getting a souvenir with one of those runes on it, you don't have to worry about bringing it to Germany. And on a related note, those of you who regularly watch my videos probably already know this, it's also illegal to deny or downplay the Holocaust in Germany, out of respect for all of the victims and their descendants. This is regulated in paragraph 130 for Volksverhetzung, so hate speech, and it's actually punished with either a fine or up to 5 years in prison. And last but not least, to end this video on a more fun and lighthearted note, this was something that completely blew Ben's mind when he came to Germany with me for the first time. Most taxis in Germany are Mercedes cars, or Mercedes as we say in German. I had never even thought about this being weird before, but in the US, taxis can be all kinds of different car brands, and in a lot of cases, they're just your regular Ford, Honda, Toyota, and other cheaper cars. And in Germany, you'll see different car brands as well, but Mercedes-Benz has been the most popular and most common taxi car brand for as long as I can remember. Specifically, their
Hold on a minute, guys. This is really, really, really stunning. I'm beginning to love Germany the more. I'm beginning to love Germany the more. I've not seen this side of Germany before, neither have I heard about it before. And it's surprising to me, and it's so exciting. It makes me want to visit Germany, sometimes makes me want to visit Germany, to actually see these things for myself. Now here we have, in Germany having great cars such as these Mercedes cars used for taxis. This is incredible. This is just incredible. We here in the country where I come from, such cars are actually driven by most influential people, actually, or people that can afford such cars. Okay, not as taxis. This is stunning, guys. This is stunning.
A-Klasse Modell, E-Class, or for bigger cabs, the V-Class. However,
Mercedes
Mercedes
E-Class.
actually announced that they're
Wow.
not going to offer the E-Class in the taxi version anymore starting this year, so maybe the era of Mercedes cabs is coming to an end. I think it's important to keep in mind though that while Mercedes cars are definitely nice and expensive cars in Germany, they're not considered super high-end luxury cars the same way they are in the US, for example. In fact, according to this statistic, Mercedes
Absolutely.
are the second most common cars on German streets, right behind Volkswagen. Growing up, I had a lot of friends who had a Mercedes as their family car, so maybe that's also why I never found it weird that that's the model of our taxis. Which of these 7 things surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to also share what other things you found out about Germany one day, or about the US, or about your home country that completely blew your mind. If you enjoy watching my videos, I would greatly appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. It's just one click and completely for free. You can also support me by hitting the thumbs up button and sharing this video with a friend. And also make sure to follow me on my social media platforms for more content. And with that, I hope I'll see you next time. Tschüss!
Choose Philly. Wow, this is beautiful. Just beautiful. Wow, choose Philly, and thank you so much for the video, guys. You all heard it from Philly herself. She actually is asking what surprised us the most out of the 7 things that she just mentioned that we did not know about Germany. And trust me, guys, the last one was actually what surprised me the most: the fact that Mercedes cars, such classic cars, were actually used as taxis, and also the part where she has to say that prostitution is legal in Germany. These two were actually the most surprising thing to me. Okay, leave a comment in the comment section and let me know the most surprising thing that you discovered about Germany in this through this video. Please leave them in the comment section, and if you have other recommendations or if you have suggestions, please also leave them in the comment section and let me know what you think about this very video, because I was really really educated. I was really really entertained. Germany is such a beautiful country. Trust me, such a beautiful country, regardless. And I love Germany so much. Okay, we this have come to the very end of the video. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel. It helps the channel to grow as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.